my God, don't speak that into existence. Well, hey there. Welcome back. Have you ever been in a conversation and been completely derailed by someone stopping you and saying, don't speak that into existence. Don't be negative. And you thought, what? Well, this is for you. People who talk about speaking negatives into existence are toddlers with chainsaws. Here's what I mean. You wouldn't give a toddler a chainsaw because they're incapable of using it. Are chainsaws bad? No. Do adults use chainsaws? Yes, they're careful and they safely use them. But they don't give them to toddlers because the toddler doesn't understand the dangers of it and could probably hurt themselves. The same can be said for thinking and speaking negative thoughts. But it's a fact of life that you have to think and speak negative thoughts. You have to plan for negatives. If you say to me, oh my God, don't speak that into existence, I would hate to be on a plane that you designed. I'd hate to be in a car that you designed because there wouldn't be any airbags. And I'd hate to use a gas stove that you designed because gas would no longer smell. Natural gas really doesn't have any odor, and that odor was added specifically in case there's a gas leak. They had to plan for something negative. God forbid you have a fire extinguisher in your house. And isn't the very act of purchasing a fire extinguisher calling into existence the universe to make your house go up in flames? No, that's just in case. Just in case what? Didn't you have to think those thoughts? And just because you didn't think those thoughts per se, or just because you didn't walk into Home Depot and say, I am buying a fire extinguisher just in case there is a fire, doesn't mean that's exactly what you did. If you think the universe listens to your spoken voice, your third voice, the universe doesn't give a crap about your third voice. If indeed the universe is listening, the universe is only listening to your first voice. And for those of you who haven't read the three voices, I'm referring to your intuition, your gut reaction, and who you are at your core. Because you can talk about the negatives all you want, as long as you're not creating barriers that don't exist. I can't imagine a company with a product development team or a marketing division that creates a mind map on the board and it's a straight line. And the guy says, well, wait, what is that? And it's just a straight line. Well, yeah, it's gonna work. Well, what if it doesn't? Don't speak that into existence. Every product has a contingency plan, not just for marketing, but for function. Patents are filed not to say, hey everyone, look at what we did. They are filed to prevent people from infringing on intellectual property. They are filed to prevent a thing from happening. A thing that hasn't yet happened. If someone has been through a system thoroughly for years and explains that to someone else who has not, and says, I'm not going to do this or this doesn't work, they are not speaking into existence a self-fulfilling prophecy. They are explaining to you an aspect of a system that has beaten them up and they have tried thoroughly to figure out. They are a high-functioning, intelligent individual. They are not a toddler with a chainsaw. Every business, every person has some sort of backup. You either have duplicate files, duplicate paperwork, off-site storage, or in the case of a power failure, a battery backup system or a generator. All of those things are for things you don't want to happen. All of those things are in case the thing does happen. You can't put a generator or a battery backup or off-site storage in place without talking about it. Okay, having said all that, I understand what some of these people are trying to get to. And just like what I talk about in the status game 2 about the true meaning of judgment that everyone obscures, people who talk about this are obscuring the meaning of the thing they're trying to convey to you. Or they're taking a small version of something and they're expanding it with a broad brush to mean everything. So here's what they really mean, or at least I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and tell you what I think they mean. I think they mean don't create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Don't create something that doesn't exist. Don't create a barrier and then allow it to stop you. Don't become so daunted that you don't make the effort that is going to make you a success. Do you see the difference there? One of them doesn't involve Chicken Little. What I just said seems to be manageable, actionable things. Well, yes, okay, I don't want to create a barrier that doesn't exist. Keyword doesn't exist. Now, you might say, well, wait a second, doesn't exist, and that fire you talked about, they don't exist right now. Right, but there is a contingency. If someone says without any data, I'm not going to take this action because it probably won't work, oh well, woe is me, that has a little bit different sign and sound than someone who says, I'm not going to take that action because I've taken that action before, multiple times, and it doesn't work, and here's why. And here's the definition of the system that I am living within and why that doesn't work particularly for me. You see, that's my statement. That's the world I live in. I live in the world of testing and experimenting and thinking about something. So when I present something to someone or to you, it's not a knee-jerk, oh well, this won't work. Have a nice day. Failure is a great teacher. Failure will teach you not to do that thing again, or to do it differently, or to think about how you could do it differently. Failure will teach you not to waste time on a thing. And when you become efficient and you realize you're not going to waste time on a thing, and you are then frustratingly advised to waste time on a thing, it becomes frustrating. When you are a fully functioning, intelligent adult making decisions, and you are treated like you are a toddler with a chainsaw, it can be, say it with me, frustrating. And see, this is one of the attributes of the guru. And I use the word guru in place of expert because those are two different things to me. The guru, whether they're self-proclaimed, they have a YouTube series, they are on TV, or it's just a friend of yours, the guru will always give you advice to something you're not doing. They will tell you to do a thing. If their advice matches what you are already doing, they will say you're doing it wrong. If you can prove to them that the thing you're doing is what they would tell you, and you can prove you're doing it right, then they would say, there's something else going on. You must be speaking to the universe in such a way to prevent you from doing what you're doing. But do you see the pattern? The pattern is, it's always your fault. Your failure is your fault. But guess whose fault it is when you're successful? Oh, it's not yours. It's the universe, and it's their advice. You see, when you're successful and you can prove that it was the thing that they were talking about, clearly it's because of their advice. If you're successful and it wasn't quite the thing they were talking about, it's still the universe because now you got out of your own way, or you finally let the universe guide you, or this or that or the other thing. No matter what, it feels terrible to fail. It feels terrible to succeed when you're dealing with a guru. And gurus remind me of the consultants of old. In the olden days, and I'm sure still right now, a large company brings in consultants to tell them what's wrong with the company. They pay them a massive amount of information. The consultants go and talk to all the employees and gather up actual, tangible things to do. If they report these actual, tangible things to do to the company, and the company wants to do them, it does them, and then lauds lots of love and money on the consultants, even though all they did was they're just the messenger. If the company doesn't want to do it, and most likely it doesn't because it would have already done that, it says, okay, thank you very much. It implements something that's slightly like it, and the consultants leave. Either way, there's no buy-in, there's no investment, and the consultants get their money. It's the same with the guru. It doesn't matter. They just sit back, go about their own lives, and they come back, and when you tell them whether you're successful or not, and they use the formula I just described. So if you are struggling with your business or with your personal life when making decisions and you're employing negative thoughts and negative talk, don't listen to the gurus. Don't listen to the consultants. If you're the business, listen to your employees. If you're the individual, listen to your heart. And do what you need to do. I trust you with a chainsaw because you're not a toddler. Take care.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
Do you have a story to share or a question? If your idea makes it to a podcast, you'll receive a shout out as well as a token of my appreciation. Join the community, patreon.com/alchemy for life.
All I need are some better days.